Kell Brook said there's a rematch clause. I just wanted to ask your point of view on that, and if that's something you may consider activating after the first fight.
I mean, I think the beating that Kell's going to take, I don't think he'll want to have a rematch, to be honest with you. But look, it is there, and obviously, as both fighters now, you know, we looked at this fight and thought, if it's such a good fight, last thing we want is having issues of doing a rematch. So why not put it in there? And so that way we know exactly there will be a rematch as well if it's such a good fight and it's such a competitive and a close fight. But the way I look at it is, I don't think it will be. I think it'll be a one-sided fight where I don't think there'll be need for a rematch.
Cool. Thanks, Amir. Good luck.
Thank you.
Go to Nick Purewal now.
Hi, Amir. Just on that, because Kell was kind of talking about how, you know, he's feeling good and he'd been thinking about you know, hoping that he can keep going on beyond this fight. Do you feel similarly then? Because obviously, you know, you're saying you're in great shape and you feel good, and in a way, the break that you've had, can that extend your career beyond this then? Because it seems like you'd be fresh again. Yeah,
no, definitely, I think so. And you know, with the break I had, obviously it was a long break, and you know, even when I started to train again, it was really hard. And as I mentioned earlier, when I came into Colorado and I came to Omaha last time, I found it really hard. And I thought, how am I going to do this? How am I going to do 2 sessions a day every day? And on Saturday and Sunday, you do 1 session a day. I thought, how am I going to do that? There's no days off you have. But the body is so smart that obviously I'm coping with it. I've done 5 weeks of training already and I feel so much stronger. I've never felt this strong in my life. And I do feel that I've got a lot left in me. Even after this fight, I think I will have a few more fights left in me where, you know, I'm even like, the way I look at it is, and what gave me more confidence was when I was training with the younger fighters who are at the peak of their career, who are world champions or getting to becoming world champions, and having that in their sight that they want to become world champion. I'm outrunning them. I'm outsparring them. The work rate I have is outpointing them. So I'm thinking, wow, if I'm doing this against some young fighters who are fresher than me, because at the end of the day, look, I am 35 and I've been in a lot of wars. My body has had a lot of beating, so but still I can still manage and I can still cope with it. Look, when you look at my life outside of boxing, I think I live a reasonable, clean life. And I think that's what's going to help me going into this fight as well. Even though being 35, Kell is a very similar age to me. I think with Kell's lifestyle is very different. We live 2 opposite lifestyles. I live that clean lifestyle. I'm a family man. I spend time with my family, and I don't drink alcohol. So I live that clean life. Whereas with Kell, I don't think he does. I think Kell he goes missing for a couple of days. He goes on a bender and stuff like that. Where there's a difference in the way you look at him. I mean, if you looked at him, if you saw him at the press conference, you would see in him how unfit, unhealthy he looked. Is he gonna be in the best condition in 10 weeks? Whereas with me, I've been training for the last couple of months. So, but yeah, I mean, look, time will tell.
Let's go to Jonathan Pinfield.
I mean, Kell said that when he's watched you in the ring previously, he's described it like watching Bambi on ice. He's questioned your chin. Do you think a deciding factor in the fight could be who's got the best punch resistance? Just going back to the Bambi comment, are there any Disney or cartoon characters that you see in Kell Brook?
No, I mean, I think, look, Kell's going to try to... Look, we know that Kell's not the best of speakers. You know, the amount of shit he comes out with and the shit he talks. You know what I'm saying? And that's one thing about him, which maybe is one of the reasons the fight never really happened, because the crap he comes out with doesn't make sense, where he ends up suffering from not having that fight. But now he's going to give him that opportunity where now it's time, with all the rubbish he says, is for me to punch him in his face and put him in his place the proper way. You know what I mean? I mean, in front of my face, he shits himself. When it comes to me, if he's a man, he'd say it straight to my face, but he never says that straight to my face because he ain't man enough and he knows deep down himself that he can't beat me. Get me? So he's gonna say things behind the camera. He's gonna say things when he's not near me. But I mean, look, he can say what he wants. Look, I know one thing. I know one thing for a fact, that I will knock him out, and I will put him asleep. And he can say what he wants. Yeah, I mean, all this about punch resistance, not taking a punch. I mean, the guys who have put me down have been good fighters with good knockout percentages. You know what I mean? And no disrespect to that. I mean, I put my hand up, they're fine. But the beating he's taken, and the way he's been hurt himself, and that was recently as well against Crawford. I'm like, yo, this guy really needs to think twice what he's saying. I mean, yeah, says things to promote a fight, but you're gonna make yourself look more stupid by saying all this, you know.
Let's go to Ryan Elliott now.
Hi, Amir. Thank you for joining us. Just one question from me. Going back to Manchester for this fight, you fought all over the world, but obviously Manchester, particularly earlier in your career, is somewhere that was very special for you. How much does it mean to you now this fight is happening to take it somewhere that holds a place close to your heart?
I mean, Manchester is one of them places where I've had my first defeat, and then I won a world title there as well. So I've had good and bad, but to be honest with you, it's been more good for me than bad, because I think that loss that I had against Prescott for the first time was probably a blessing in disguise for me, because it made me work harder. It brought my feet back down to earth, and you know, and I think I needed something like that at that time, because I thought I was the best. I was going to become a world champion, do this, do that. But then obviously that was like wake up call for me to come back and sort myself out. Now, then from then on, I went and won a world title there. I've had some great performances since then in Manchester Arena, and I love the arena. It's close to home. I do have a lot of fans and a lot of people who support me from that area, so it feels at home to me. It's like second home to me, really, because I live in Bolton. I'm literally 20 minutes away from Manchester, so I'm quite happy that the fight's there. And look, one thing about Manchester is I think it has to be one of the best arenas out there, because you know, you've got hotels close by, you've got everything close by. For fans, it's the right location, and it just shows how quick the arena sold out within minutes. So yeah, that's Manchester for you, man.
Let's go to Matt into boxing.
Hi, Amir. I hope you're well.
Hi, man. All right.
I was. You talk about this being obviously there's a business decision when you're making the fight. Would the business decision would have been to make the fight, 4 or 5 years ago? Because we talk about this fight that potentially could have filled out Wembley Stadium at the time.
Yeah.
Would that not have been sort of the better business decision?
Probably would have been, yeah. But then, you just don't know how things can turn out, and things go from there. I really wanted to campaign and make a name for myself in America. So I was doing a lot of fights in America at that time. And then obviously I did waste a lot of time when I was chasing Mayweather on the Pacquiao fight. So I did waste some time there. I mean, if I could change some few things, that might be one of the things I would have changed to have that fight early. But look, regardless, I think it's good that it's come now as well, because people still know that it's going to be a hell of a fight.
Absolutely. Well, good luck, Amir. Appreciate your time.
Thank you very much.
Gareth A. Davies, you had your hand up and it come down. Do you want to ask a question?
I would. Good evening, Amir. How are you?
Gareth, how are you? Good, thanks.
I'm good, thank you. Can I go back to Disney characters, please?
Yeah.
Elicited a great answer from you. Does Sleeping Beauty come to mind, maybe?
I mean, that's why it's called Kell, if you want, yeah, because I mean, he's one of them guys who always, I mean, the way he comes out with things, like he's the best out there who can take the best shot, and he's never been put down himself, he's never been put asleep himself. Come on, wake up, man. I mean, I don't like getting into stuff like that, because I just think that it becomes like a cat fight, really. Then it becomes I'm not that type of guy. You know what I mean, calling him this, calling names and stuff. I just find it quite funny, really, and hilarious that he's come to a stage where for him to promote this fight now, or he's pretty lost of words now that he's coming out with some bloody Disney characters now.
Can I just quickly add to that? So are you less emotional than he is about this fight?
Oh, definitely. Look, my job is just to go in there and do what I do best. With Kell, he's very emotional because he's wanted this fight for a very long time. He's very emotional because he's seen my career do so well in America, come back to UK, sell at arenas, and have, and make a lot of money in the sport. So yeah, I do feel where he's coming from. He's going to be very emotional, but his hard work and his hard work dedication. Also, he keeps mentioning about the Olympics that I went to Olympic Games. I went to Olympics because I was good I was the best out there to go to Olympics, and I qualified. The whole team that we had, no one else qualified. If he was really good, that good of a fighter, he would have been picked over me, but he never was, because I was always the better fighter. Even now, as a professional, I've achieved a lot more than him. I've done better than him in my career, and financially, I've made a lot more money than him because I'm a better fighter, and that's what he needs to understand. But he's very emotional on that, saying that, why did I get these opportunities, where really it wasn't me getting these opportunities because of I'm a nice guy. It was because my skills talk for itself. I'm gonna catch you in a little while. I think we've got another little talk after. All right, Gav.
Let's go to Adam Smith now.
Hey, Amir, how are you?
Adam, how are you?
Yeah, very good, thank you. Very excited about 4 weeks' time. A couple of things. One, Kell was saying earlier that it means more to him, this fight, that I think, he's seen your career and he doesn't think it means this specific fight as much to you as it does to him, that he's been chasing it more than you have. Just your reaction to that. And also with Bomac, you've been through a lot of trainers over the years, from Oliver Harrison, Dean Powell, Freddie, Joe, Virgil, etc. How can you get the right game plan in place in such a short period of time? And if things do go wrong in the fight, are you convinced you've got the right guy in the corner there for you?
Yeah, I definitely think I've got the right guy in the corner going into this fight. Bomac is a very good trainer. I mean, the way he breaks down a fight. I mean, what gave me the indication of choosing someone like Bomac was the way, when I fought Crawford, the way they were making me miss, the way they fought me, the way they were, even though I might have had a few injuries, but I'm not going to talk about the injury side of it, but I'm just saying the way they had that game plan. And from watching my whole amateur career, from watching my whole professional career, seeing the small little points or the mistakes I make and capitalizing on that. I mean, why is Crawford one of the best out there? Because it's a team thing. If he was on his own with a normal medium trainer, I don't think he'll be in this position. It's because it's his team. He has a really good team around him who kind of push him, motivate him, but do all the behind the scene work. So when they go into the gym with him, they tell him exactly what to do. Now, that's what they're going to do with me. Now, why I thought it's a brilliant idea to be with them is because they know me inside out. They've watched so much videos of me when they were fighting me, that they know my style, how to improve me, make me a better fighter. Secondly, they know Kell Brook as well. They fought Kell Brook. They beat Kell Brook. So they know Kell really well. So it's not, there's two fighters, myself and Kell, who they don't know much of. They know a lot about us. So that was one of the ideas to be with him. But then to train here in altitude and the way he trains his fighters, it tells me now why Crawford is pound for pound one of the best fighters in the world, because they really push the fighters. I mean, I remember coming a couple of months ago when I saw Jamel training, and I was like, oh my God, like, this guy's a beast, and they can have me doing that. And thinking about it now, when I was thinking about it then, I was like, how am I going to do this? Because I've never been pushed from like Virgil or Freddie or anyone like this. And at the same time, what was in my mind was, I'm getting older. So is my body going to cope with it? I'm going to start getting injuries. But guess what? I mean, the body is so smart where, I didn't think I had it in me to do it, but guess what? I came through it. I feel stronger, the best shape I've ever been. And I'm doing everything that the other guys like Jamel, Crawford do, and the other fighters do. And I'm giving it my all as well, and pushing it hard as well. So that's one thing I've realized, that, I can do it still. And I can push myself right to the limit, where I'm out beating the young fighters. I'm out sprinting them. I'm beating them in this long distance. I'm sparring them, doing the 4-minute rounds of sparring. I was so scared of the 4-minute round sparring. I'm thinking, how am I going to do that? Because 3 minutes is hard, let alone another minute on top of that. 4-minute rounds of sparring, 30-second breaks. I'm finding it easy now. So, and Bomax with his game plan is giving it, is sticking in there because I respect the guy so much. He beat me. He beat me with Crawford. He beat Kell with Crawford. So he must know something, and he must be good at setting a game plan. So that's why I have so much respect for him. So whatever he tells me to do, I do. And sorry, what was the first question, Adam?
Just that Kell said that it means so much more to him.
Oh yeah. So you know what? He might think that I'm going into this fight like it doesn't mean anything to me. This means everything to me, my legacy, my whole boxing career, because I have to win this fight. If this is one of my last big fights, I want to make sure I shine. I look good in it. I don't want to be remembered as a fighter who was really good when in his mid age, and then as he got older, he just kind of fell off. I mean, no, I don't want to be one of the fighters. I don't want to be known for one of them fighters. And I have to win this fight. I have to go into this fight because this is such a big grudge match in the UK. And I walk the streets in the UK. I live there, and being a name as well, and being on the TV shows and being having my own TV shows and stuff. The name always gets mentioned about Kell Brook, and I won't be able to live with that. That's why I have to make sure I go into this fight and win this fight. I can't have him thinking that I'm not focused. I'm more focused than any other fight I've ever had, because like I said, I cannot lose this fight.
Thanks, Amir.
Thank you, Adam.
Right, we're going to go to October Red now.
Hi, good afternoon, Amir. Abs
Hi.
from October Red Boxing. Nice to finally get to speak to you.
Thank
All
you.
the best on your up and coming match. But one of the things I wanted to touch on, and it sort of like follows on from what Adam said, it's about the trainer, the continuity with the trainer. You've mentioned obviously that Crawford's trainer has had Crawford when he's beat the both of you.
Correct.
He's obviously embedded with his fighter.
Correct.
Kell has sort of like alluded to the fact that he has been with his trainer from the beginning. He's got that continuity. He believes that you having another trainer yet again will serve as a disadvantage. What are your thoughts on that?
My thoughts to that is this now. You know, when you're with a trainer who, like a Bomac, who's one of the best trainers in the world, he's training the likes of Crawford and Jamel Herring and even Shakur Stevenson. You don't want to come in a camp like this and not give it your all. You have to show them that you still have it in you to perform at the best. Now, I know for a fact that if I went back to Virgil Hunter, I'm going back in my comfortable zone. I'm going to be comfortable with him. I know how easy it's going to be. I know for a fact when I'm here with Bomac and the guys, I'm uncomfortable. I'm not chilled. I'm not like, oh yeah, I'm just going to go and do this. I'll get away with doing this. I can't get away with anything. I've got 2 trainers watching me 24/7. When I'm in that gym, when I step in that gym, there's always someone watching me. One watching my feet, one watching my hands, one watching the game, one making sure I'm sticking to the game plan. Whereas with Kell, he'll have it a little bit easier because he'll find it more comfortable working with a trainer like Dominic, because he's been with him for so long. He knows how the system works. See, for me, it's not like that, because I know for a fact if I'm not training hard here, they tell me to go home, or they lose that respect for me. The way one thing I realize is when you get a new trainer, you have to earn your respect. And the way you earn your respect is by training hard, working hard, and sparring these tough guys. I've come to America. I'm in Colorado Springs. I'm sparring these tough young fighters who Crawford spars with, who Jamel and them other guys spar with. They're sparring with me now. Now I have to make sure I look really good against them, because I still see myself as one of the top guys out there. So and they still obviously when they see me, they still know that Amir is such a big name. They have that respect for me, and I could see that when I first ever walked into that gym, like everyone's eyes lit up. Oh, Amir Khan's here, and they're taking pictures with me. Now for me, that kind of put a little bit of pressure on me, because I have to perform now to show these people I still have it in me. And why they want to take a selfie with me, why they want to take a picture with me, why they want to allow me to train with them is because they remember me being good, but I have to still be good, and I have to still stick of being the best out there. So, so that's what my aim was to come here, is to have that still in me. That look, I have to prove to them that I belong here. Otherwise, there's been many fighters that want to come here and train here, but they've said no to them. So I had to work hard and show them that I still have it in me to belong in this training camp. Last thing they want is, after they've got pound for pound best fighters in the world, they've got people like Shakur's training here, who in the future will be pound for pound, in my opinion. Last thing they want is having someone like a beat up guy to come here and it puts the team down. Nah, I can't do that. You know, they wouldn't do that. They got too much pride, and it's good for me to know that, because it makes me train hard.
I like that. It's like the philosophy of getting comfortable with being uncomfortable to keep you razor sharp.
100%.
All the best.
No, I 100%. What you're saying there is true, because I remember when I used to do training camps with like Virgil Hunter and other trainers who you used to, and it becomes easy because you know exactly what to do. You know the days off you're having. Here, I've had no days off. Like, I've had some days off, half days off. I've had some easy days and some hard days. I just don't know what to expect with these guys. You know, I mean, every day is a different day. Whereas with Freddie and other coaches, I used to know what to expect. So you become comfortable with that. I'm very uncomfortable here, you know, but it's tough. It's bringing the best out of me.
Awesome.
Right.
Thank you very much for your time.
I think that's where we'll wrap it. Apologies if you didn't get to ask a question. We'll have plenty more opportunities to speak with Amir over the next few weeks. Amir, anything you want to say to Kell?
Look, you know, I don't like speaking and saying I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that. But I think come fight night, you know, I think I will definitely earn that respect from him. I know he keeps saying he's got no respect for me. And you know, for me, obviously, I was at the stage where when we used to have that talk, there was talks about me fighting him. And it was more banter for me. It was because I knew that I was with a different promoter, the fight would not happen. I was campaigning in America. So I just said, yeah, you know, it could happen one day, but I don't want to fight him. He has to do this. I mean, look, it's happening now. The main thing is happening now. And with all that talking he's been doing for years, saying that he wants to fight me, this is a time for him to show and prove that why he wanted that fight.
Amir, good luck with the rest of your camp. We'll catch up soon. I'll see you in fight week.
Appreciate it, man. Thank you. Thanks. Take care. Thank you, guys. Bye-bye.
Thanks, everyone.